I was thinking initially about these Plexiglass as objects of desire. They're so glossy, they're so shiny. The only way where this object can actually exist in the real world is just through a glance of a viewer. How sad it is to be such an object that only comes to life when somebody looks at it. Synthetic landscapes is basically a result of my last year's work. It deals mainly with our relationship with nature through the eyes of technology. When I make an object, I rather think about how this object will become a part of immersive environment. So from the very beginning, I don't work on one sculpture, I work on multiple pieces at the same time, some of them sculptures, some paintings, some drawings. I always am drawn to worlds that are somewhat humoristic, somewhat influenced by animation and cartoons and popular culture.
It has this delightful effect on you, but if you just scratch beneath the surface, you see that there's much more going on with this exhibit. The exhibit is very, very colorful, but the whimsical nature of the plexiglass is very deceptive because they certainly have a different meaning.
The Plexiglass Clouds were taken from cartoons and video games and worked in Illustrator, laser cut to create these semi-flat surfaces. It's so symbolic. We are looking at them and understanding their clouds only because we are so used to see them in books, in games, and so on. And I took these 2D images to 3D software and rotated them in space in an attempt to give them again their volume. But because something was already lost in abstraction, we're getting to something totally new that doesn't resemble clouds, but in a sense presents an artificial nature. And thinking about clouds, of course, the idea of rain clouds, but for these plastic clouds, how could I create this impression of something that are very heavy with rain, almost bursting with water, so different from the top part, which is light and airy. And I started dipping it in paint to create this heaviness and materiality, grounding back in a reality that is not the reality of real clouds, but rather a reality of urban life. All of them are dripping some kind of substance they were dipped in, and they call them rain clouds, but the actual rain is a type of some toxic rain which is continued in the drawing on the wall. Working with plastic is not environmental. On the other hand, I just love this plastic as an object to create a tension between what we perceive as nature and what we do to nature, and how we see nature as a commodity, as something to conquer, as something to buy, as something to frame and put in our living room, and so on.
These types of exhibits aren't going to necessarily be the most commercially successful, but the Kranzberg Arts Center is hoping to continue to offer exhibits that have a relevancy and to offer the opportunity to artists to be able to express a point of view that maybe they wouldn't be able to otherwise in another environment.